All right. Okay, testing this out. All right. How can I share? Okay, just sharing this to my group on Facebook, the ELB community. Okay. All right, so if there's anyone here that's a subscriber to my YouTube channel, I posted a message yesterday in my I Love Balance community on Facebook, ELB, to say that at 7 p.m. tonight, I was going to run a little 20-minute light stretch, mainly twists and bends, and a 20-minute meditation. So if you want to join, get ready. It's starting in about 7 minutes. So you have time to get yourself ready and comfortable to join. Maybe just a yoga mat. Maybe just space anywhere. Again, this is just I'm testing everything out right now. I've never actually done a live YouTube yet. So I am sharing it to a group that I have on Facebook called I Love Balance Community. And if people show up or don't show up at 7 p.m., I'm starting a nice little stretch, 20-minute stretch, bends and twists, and then meditation. So, okay, let's see something here. How can I move that? Just want to move that out of the way. Okay, so let's see. Okay, I was able to send a message in the chat. Cool. This. Now I should probably put this bigger. All right. Okay, I want to keep that there. All right, let's see what happens. Oh yeah, this is what I was looking. If it posted. Oh, there you go. I could actually see myself right now. Cool. So that worked. Okay, cool. Let's see what happens. All right, who's in the house right now? I can see 2 people. Would love. Have I sent this or how does this work? This is so confusing. My number 1 supporter. Hey, Mr. Knotlocks. How you doing? Are you going to join or are you going to stretch or what? You're going to stretch and meditate as well, right? Are you watching just to spy on me or are you watching because you're going to join? Tell me. All right. Hola, ¿cómo taliboo? Okay, we still have a few minutes before it's 7, before I start the stretch. So about 4 minutes here. I set myself up in my meditation room. Yay, let's do it. Okay, cool. Yeah, I set myself up in my meditation room because the gym room light was coming in. The sun was coming in really intensely and all uneven, and it would have been hard to see what I was doing. So, but yeah, so hopefully everyone has a mat or just a comfortable space at home. We're not going to be moving too much around. We're just going to be doing some really light stretching, especially some twists and some bends to move that spine. And I'm going to put a lot of emphasis on this. I've actually spoken about it already in my ELB community on Facebook. Your central nervous system, right? Your spine. Your spine actually is there as this structure that protects that whole central nervous system that's linked directly to your brain. And to be honest, think about it. Just think about it. Having proper spinal function and movement, being able to extend properly, to flex properly, to stretch, to move sideways, to bend, to twist. It's so important to have mobility in our spine. So important. Not only for that direct connection up into our brain, into our peripheral nervous system that just connects the messages all over our body, but even think for your digestive system. Think for, when you're sitting for long periods of time and you start slouching and you start building up your spine rather than keep its natural curvature, starts getting stuck, right? So it's really, really important to make sure that we have good mobility in our spine, good extension like this, and good flexion, right? We really want to work on that to help us in every possible way. So, and again, most of you do spend long days sitting, so it's really important for us to move our body in different directions, right? Our body was meant to be very multi-directional, very functional, not just sitting all day. And we all know that. So, what time is it now? Ooh, we're 2 minutes short. Let's see what's going on. No one has seen it in ELB yet. But that's fine because I have people that are going to watch it later. So at the end of the day, I'm happy whoever is here doing it with me. Because, at the end of the day, it benefits me too. Let's be real. What benefits you will benefit me for sure. Okay, so I'm actually going to get everyone to start in the kneeling position. So you might have the proper flexibility in those ankles. You might be able to sit down completely onto your feet here. That might be too hard, so you might want to maybe bend the toes a little bit and sit onto your heels. And maybe even that's too hard. Maybe the quads are super tight and you have trouble being able to bend like that, to kneel like that. So maybe you need to be tall and up here. I'm just going to move that away for a second. Be a little bit better here. Okay. So maybe you need to be a little bit taller here. But regardless where you are, we're going to be moving and stretching our side body. So we're going to reach our left arm first to our left side, and we're just going to be sitting our bum onto our right heel. So we're literally scooting our butt to our right heel, and we're going to reach our left arm down. And from here, we're just going to reach our right arm all the way up overhead, and we're going to try and create a nice little arch on our side body here. And we're trying to make sure that our pinky is pointing down more, and we're not shrugging too much here. We're pushing that shoulder blade down the back, okay? We're trying to still have space here. And then we could try and let that left elbow come all the way down here. All the way down to the ground, really trying to reach. We're not reaching down or up. We're really trying to reach towards that wall because we're really trying to move all the way up that side body and feel that super nice stretch here. You could try and find a very nice spinal alignment. Just gaze up a little bit here. And we're going to start focusing on our breath. So we're going to take super deep inhales, trying to expand our rib cage here. So an analogy that I like to use is imagine your rib cage is like an umbrella. And every time you inhale, it expands. You can feel that umbrella opening. And every time you exhale, you could feel the umbrella closing. So just visualize that for a moment. Inhale super deeply here. And exhale, visualize that umbrella, your rib cage closing. And as you inhale, visualize and feel it expanding and lengthening, and feel all those nice little intercostal muscles getting a good stretch there on your side body. Let's come back up nice and slow, using that hand coming all the way up here. Center yourself, reach your palms up, and we're gonna interlace our fingers here and push up and stretch those fingers a little bit. Again, we're not gonna shrug here. We're gonna keep those shoulders, our scapula retracted, and we're gonna pull up. So it's like this contrast where you feel the shoulder blades, the scapula pushing down, but you feel your arms trying to reach up towards the ceiling. You're tucking that chin a little bit, and you're feeling length at the back of the neck here. We take a deep, deep, deep inhale. And exhale everything out. So now we're just gonna reach our right arm down here. And we're gonna scoot our hips to our left side. So we're sitting our bum onto our left heel. We start reaching that left arm to that opposite wall, trying to reach your pinky down more. And we inhale deeply here. Really thinking about those ribs expanding, really thinking about that whole stretch in your whole side body here. And then you can slowly let yourself go down to that elbow. Try to find a nice alignment with your shoulder and elbow. Try to really push your bum down as you reach across as much as you can, so you really feel that whole left side body opening right now. Take a super deep breath here. Try to expand as much as you can. Notice how much our spine expands, how much the rib cage expands. And then exhale and try and get a little bit deeper in that nice side body stretch here. Stay present with yourself. Give yourself this time to be with yourself. Let's reach that arm up all the way up overhead. Again, interlace those fingers and reach up above. Feel that contrast again of the shoulder blades pushing down and the arms reaching up as much as you can. And then bring those palms into heart center here for a moment. Push those shoulders low. Feel that nice connection of your thumbs against the sternum, and just breathe here for a second. Deep, deep, deep inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Just let everything sigh out. I don't know if it's been a long day for you. I know that I had a very, very busy day today, and it feels amazing to just inhale as deeply as I can. Really expand, expand. Feel that spine expanding, your ribs lengthening, and just let it all go here. Let's do that one more time together, inhaling as deeply as we can. And exhaling, sighing out, just letting it all go, letting all of that tension fall away, just fall off. We feel it just wash off our body right now. So from here, we're going to be going a little bit in our back extensions and flexions. So we're going to stay still from this kneeling position. And we're going to be reaching our knees. So it's almost like we're trying to grab onto our knees with our hands, and we start allowing our whole back to just cave and to just flex and round into a mad cat back. So we're trying to suck our belly in as much as we can, and we're trying to round that entire spine, okay? And we use the resistance of the knees to allow ourselves to feel that stretch all the way across the back. We tuck our chin in and we exhale in this position. And then we start dragging our hands onto our thighs, coming up, bringing our spine nice and tall as much as we can. And now from here, we start exaggerating that arch in our back. So we start imagining like we're trying to create that exact opposite shape that we've just created now. We created a flexion in our back previously, and now we're trying to create the exact opposite, okay? You still keep looking forward, and we do the exact opposite. We reach our chin up this time, all the way up, trying to get a really good stretch at the front of the throat here, okay? So really reach up and try as much as you can to also squeeze your shoulder blades into one another, to push your hands into your own thighs, to add that extra traction, to open up your upper thoracic spine, okay? So reach up, look up here, look up, look up, look up, almost maybe behind you, and come back. Start tucking that chin again. Start dragging your hands down. Go grab onto those knees and really let yourself round here as much as you can. Now let's start trying to work with her inhales and exhales. So this is going to be our exhale, and then we start inhaling up all the way. And we start exhaling down again, rounding into our mad cat back. It's like our cat-cows from our kneeling position, inhaling all the way back up. Feel that spine moving. Try to feel every inch and every vertebrae. Exhale, round up super high here. One last extension. Really feel this flexion here. And one last extension. Inhale. And exhale, come back to center. Excellent. All right, so from here, just allow yourself to cross that left arm across your right thigh and reach that right arm all the way behind you. Maybe even try to wrap that arm around your thigh. If you're not able to, that's fine. You can put your hand onto your sacrum instead and just try to use that to open you up a little bit. But if you can, you come all the way around here, okay? And you try and bring that chin looking over your shoulder as much as possible. Still try to keep a nice tall spine. So we're not rounding like this. We're lengthening in the spine. We're being as tall as we can. We're looking over that chin on our right side. Stay in it, stay in it. I'm just repositioning. And now feel like you're wringing your spine out. Really feel that spine action going on here. Really feel the muscles around it, everything that's pulling in your back right now. Come back to center. Reach those arms up overhead. Inhale, inhale, reach, 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 shrug this time, shrug, shrug, shrug. And as you exhale, place that left hand across, that right hand across onto your left thigh and reach that left arm around or onto the sacrum again or around, wrapping around to the opposite thigh, trying to really find length in the spine and looking over that shoulder. So we're twisting all the way, our entire spine. We're feeling like this wringing action, like we're trying to wring some water out of our clothes, but here it's out of the spine. That's it. Look all the way over that neck here. Use that right hand against your left thigh to open yourself up even more, to use that twist. As you inhale, you back off a little bit, and you exhale, you try to get a little bit deeper. Come back to center, nice and slow. Inhale those arms up overhead. Reach, 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 reach. Excellent. Perfect. Okay, so from here, we're just going to scoop our bum to the side, and we're going to bring our legs into our S legs here, is what I call, okay? So imagine you're bringing your right foot onto your left thigh, and you're trying to find the same type of similar position in both legs. You're trying to still find balance. So you're trying to still find level in the hips and the bum down evenly. So maybe take a little bit of flesh out and try to find that evenly on the ground here, okay? Just spend a few seconds here, your hands on both knees, and try to find a little bit of length here. Imagine you're just getting a little bit taller, whether it's in that lumbar spine or your thoracic, or maybe it's your cervical spine. Maybe you're feeling yourself gaining just a bit more length here. And now from here, we're gonna go into another nice little twist. So first we're gonna inhale our arms up overhead. And then we're gonna start twisting ourselves to our right side body, same as we just previously did. That arm, that left arm, we're using it to help us crank ourselves open a little bit and look all the way over our shoulder here. And we're really pushing our legs into one another. We have a solid foundation here, okay? Really reach back, keep that length, keep your abs engaged here. You should feel that twist all the way up. Come back to center. Now from here, I'm gonna get everyone to move their hips up and forward, reach maybe a little bit, maybe get a little bit of a stretch here in the hip flexors, and then switch the legs under you. So it's just a little switch. We were here, and then we maybe you have to take it in steps. Maybe you can switch them like that, or maybe you take it in steps, but that's fine. And then you come into the opposite side. So again, now the left foot is on that right thigh, and we're opening up into that nice little S position. We're trying to find both of our butt cheeks down onto the ground here, hips as leveled as we possibly can here, okay? Let's inhale those arms up overhead. And now bring that right arm across to that left thigh and reach that arm all the way back here. I'm putting it down to the ground, and I'm looking over that left shoulder as far back as I can. Again, trying to find length. We're not leaning back. We're standing super tall. We're keeping our whole torso just right over top our hips, okay? Turning open, looking all the way over. Taking a deep breath here. Really staying present with ourselves. We're not worrying about what's happening later or tomorrow or about what happened earlier. We're just focused on the present moment. We're just focused on reality as is and what we're feeling in our body right now. We come back to center. We inhale those arms up. Reaching, reaching, reaching. Exhale your palms to heart center. Now from here, we're going to place our left hand on the side of our left thigh, and we're just going to start reaching. So we're going to push into the, not in the knee directly, but just on the thigh here, and we're going to start pushing up, trying to bring the hips forward and the arm up overhead. So you're really finding again, now it's not just this side body stretch, it's really going all the way from the quads, hip flexors moving up, okay? So coming up, trying to push those hips forward here, reaching that arm up overhead again. This time, you're still reaching towards that wall as much as you can. You're feeling that entire expansion running through the front part and side body here, all the way, really trying to push those hips up higher. And it might not look like this right now, and that's okay. Just try as much as you can to get those hips up as high as you can. Take a few seconds, maybe gaze up a little bit here. Come back down nice and slow. And then from here, we're gonna shift up forward again, just to switch those legs under again. So we go back to that other position, our previous position. Same legs, different direction, knees pointing in a different direction. So now, inhale those arms up overhead. Plant that right palm down near that right thigh and reach. So start pushing those hips forward. So you're using that shin to help support you, right? Your two shins to help support you. You push those hips forward as much as you can, and you reach up overhead, and you really try to push. So feel that stretch running all the way up. It's a wonderful stretch, really stretching the whole anterior part of the body here and side body. So really breathe into this here. Feel that nice expansion. Try pushing those hips forward a little bit more. Feel the extension in the back and also the bend, the side bend. Feel all the different areas in your body. Stay present with yourself here. Notice how good this feels. Come back down nice and slow. Excellent. So now from here, we're going to bring our legs out, in front of us. So just bring those legs out in front of you a little bit. Take the flesh out from under your bum again and try to extend and lengthen that spine as much as you can. Bring your toes in towards you here a little bit. And just spend a few seconds here trying to feel that connection of the legs into the ground beneath you. Notice what you're feeling here. And then just a few times what we're gonna do is we're gonna reach forward, and we are allowing our back to round here, okay? So we're reaching forward, reaching, stepping, allowing the back to round, trying to reach as far as we can past our toes, tucking our head down as far as we can, and then we glide back up one vertebra at a time. We bring our hands behind us here, and we start pointing our toes and reaching our hips up high. Nice and high here, tucking the chin, getting a nice extension. Let that head go back for a second, and come back down nice and slow. Excellent. Keep your feet flexed again. Start slowly walking yourself forward again. Try and find that flexion in the spine. If you can, grab the outer edge of those feet and try to pull yourself in a little bit more. Feel the stretch at the back of the hamstrings. Feel the flexion in the back. Feel yourself really folding over those legs, letting yourself go a little bit here. We're going to spend about 30 seconds here, okay? So try to let yourself release as much as you can. Try to focus on every single vertebrae going up that spine as if you're just allowing them to get a little bit closer and closer to the earth beneath you. Just let gravity take place here. So take a few deep inhales. So again, when you inhale, you expand, right? So you back off a little bit. Watch. And then you exhale and you allow yourself to get in a little bit deeper here, a little bit deeper. You could let that head fully release as well. I'm just trying for you to be able to hear me audibly, but you could let that head fully release and shake out little yeses and no. Imagine your body is like a waterfall from the body, from the hips up, and it's just trickling over those legs. You're just letting all the tension and all the stress of the day, or the past few days, or the past few weeks, or the past few months, just release itself, okay? Good, spend a few extra seconds here. Deep inhale here. Exhale last time, let yourself sigh out. And then slowly walk your hands back up. Nice and slowly here, excellent. And make sure, maybe you have a block at home, maybe you have something that's comfortable that you can sit on, because now we're going to move into the meditation portion of today. We did a 20-minute nice little light twist and bend stretch, and now we're going to do a nice little 20-minute meditation together. So make sure that you are in a comfortable space. One of the things I usually say for meditation is, especially in your own home or where you are most of your time, or where you know you will be able to meditate in the future or now, try to find a space that's sacred for you. Maybe a space that you know you can accumulate some really good positive energy. Maybe it's your bedroom, maybe it's a space somewhere in your home, a corner somewhere that you know you keep something like a singing bowl or a salt lamp or a mat, or anything that you feel like it makes it your space and where you could accumulate this positive energy. So that's just a recommendation. And just, of course, if your knees have trouble getting lower than the hips, you could always sit on a cushion or sit on a block, right? A yoga block. I usually have my little mat back here with my little seated cushion here, which, you know what, I'm gonna move over here. Boom, there you go. So as you can see, by doing that, my knees get so much closer to the ground beneath me just by elevating myself with a little cushion like this. So for future recommendations when you do meditation. And so hopefully everyone found their comfortable position, and I'm gonna ask you to close your eyes in this moment. Allow yourself to feel your body melt into the ground beneath you. Just take some very deep breaths here. Oh, sorry, I just am realizing what to knees. Oh, the knees should be below the hip just because it allows us to open our hips up a lot more. It's just we're able to relax more, because if we needed to elevate our hips higher, like really what we want is for those knees to be connected to the ground and resting. Because if they're super high up like this, then gravity is still playing and it's still pulling down. So we're not able to fully relax because we're still feeling all the tension here, right? Because the knees are still trying to drop. So for meditation purposes, to try and stay really focused and to feel comfortable and not in pain, you try and find a position or elevate your hips high enough that your knees are resting. They're resting softly and you're not working hard. So you're able to focus at the task at hand, which is meditation, right? And not like in torture or suffering because of the position you're in. So that's actually why, to answer your question, Jonathan. Okay, so sorry about that. Everyone, let's focus and close our eyes in this moment. Take a deep, deep, deep inhale through the nose. And allow yourself again to sigh through the mouth here. As you do so, start noticing what your body feels like right now. Start noticing how the spine feels like, if it feels any different than it did earlier, if it feels any different than it did before we started stretching. Start noticing how your body feels right now, seated and connected with the earth beneath you. Allow yourself to completely let go in this moment. Allow your body to fully melt itself, as if your whole body is mainly liquid. It's like a waterfall that's just allowing itself to wash and let everything go. All of the tension, all of the stress, any unnecessary feeling, we're just washing all of that off right now. Our eyes are closed. We're still focused on our breathing. An analogy I mentioned earlier that I love to use is focusing on our rib cage as if it was an umbrella. Every time we inhale, the umbrella opens. We feel our rib cage expanding, not just at the front of the body, but on the side of the body and your back body. You feel your rib cage expanding. You feel that aliveness. And when you exhale, you feel that umbrella closing. You feel the rib cage closing. You feel yourself releasing. You feel yourself letting go a little bit deeper. So stay focused in your body here. Stay present with yourself. We're not worried about the past and we're not worried about the future. We're simply present with ourselves right now. Rather than control our breath, we're going to start bringing our awareness to the surface above our lips, above our upper lip, and below our nostrils. And as promised, I wanted to guide you today through the Anapana technique, which is the first part of Vipassana, which means reality as is. And what it allows you to do is to focus on something that's happening within your own body that is real, that is reality, and to not allow, to simply focus on that task at hand and train your own mind to start mastering itself. So because rather than let yourself be distracted by your thoughts, by, as I mentioned, the past or the future, you stay present and you observe reality as is. So right now, we're going to observe specifically the space beneath our nostrils and above our upper lip. And we're going to observe what sensations we feel in that space. any sensation that surfaces. So we might notice our own breath. We might notice the air of our inhale slowly running on the surface. We might notice our exhale also. We might notice any other sensation arising. There might be itching, there might be sweat, it might feel cold, it might feel warm. Whatever the sensation may be, try to remain equanimous. So the goal here is not only to master our mind, but it's to train ourselves to be aware of reality as is without necessarily reacting to it. So stay with yourself in this moment and stay focused on the task at hand. Really narrow that space down, that space beneath your nostrils and above your upper lip. And notice what it is that you feel in that space specifically. So even if there are other sensations that are surfacing in the body, if they're elsewhere than that space beneath the nostrils and above the upper lip, we're not going to give them any power. It's okay that you might be feeling other sensations arising in different spaces. It's okay that you might notice yourself wandering. You might notice yourself in the future or in the past or in another country. You might notice yourself daydreaming, and that's okay because that's reality. As long as you don't get frustrated, as long as you remain equanimous, you're able to catch yourself in the action of maybe being elsewhere, and you simply bring yourself back to the task at hand. And that task at hand was focusing on the sensations below the nostrils and above the upper lip. It's simply being present with yourself, so present with yourself, that you're able to sharpen your mind to the point of noticing any little sensation arising beneath your nostrils or above your upper lip. So really stay present with yourself in this moment. There's no point in getting frustrated. We're just trying to remain equanimous, to remain calm, to remain present and aware. We're helping ourselves condition our own mind. We're helping ourselves avoid reacting unnecessarily in our daily lives. We're training ourselves to be more patient, to be more aware, more present in our daily lives. We allow ourselves to sit here in guided meditations or in silence with ourselves, using this same technique, focusing on that space beneath the nostrils and above the upper lip. Staying focused on that space and noticing any sensation that arises. And whatever the sensation may be, we don't react to it. They say that the cause of misery is human cravings and aversions. And what they mean by that is, as humans, we have many senses. We're able to touch, to feel, to see, to smell, to taste, to hear. And all of these senses generate different sensations within us. So we might smell something that we really like, And it might generate a craving within us because we love that smell so much. Maybe it's the smell of our partner and it drives us crazy. We just love that smell. Maybe we smell something that we don't like at all, and that generates a little bit of aversion within us. It generates maybe an unpleasant sensation. And it's the same for any one of our senses. So you might hear something you like or you dislike, touch something you like or you dislike, pleasant or unpleasant. And all of those different reactions come from different sensations within us. And they'll create stored emotions if we hold on to it too much. So meaning that the cause of human misery being cravings and aversions is because we end up not being in control of all of those stored memories and those things, those sensations that were generated every time we smelt or touched or heard or saw something. And all of this is happening at a subconscious level. We're not even necessarily realizing it. So the beauty of Anapana is training your mind to stay present and to remain equanimous, regardless if the sensation is pleasant or unpleasant. Regardless if maybe there's a little bit of discomfort or itching somewhere or pain, and rather than move or scratch, we remain present and we simply observe, accepting reality as is. To give you a perfect example, if you sit long enough, if you sit for 20, 30, 40 minutes without moving, eventually your legs will become numb. You'll start feeling them going numb. And most people's reaction is to move. But if you remain still long enough, the numbness kind of goes away. Don't even realize it anymore. Doesn't even bother you anymore. And when you're done the meditation and you move, you might feel all this tingling, the sensations start coming back, but all of that was temporary. The law of impermanence. All of that was temporary. So this is what we're doing in this case. We're sitting here present with ourselves, focusing on observing the sensations happening beneath our nostrils and above our upper lip, focusing on this sharp, narrow space to help ourselves master our mind, without reacting to any of the sensations that we feel. We're simply remaining equanimous, which means that maybe it starts itching. And rather than react and scratch yourself, you simply choose to observe. You observe the itch. You observe that sensation. You observe reality as is without reacting. And it can drive you crazy. It can become an aversion if your mind starts going wild and you start feeling that it's unpleasant and you start hating on it. It's going to get worse and worse and worse. But on the other hand, if you don't react to it and you just observe it long enough, eventually it'll pass away. It's temporary. It's temporary completely. It'll be gone before you know it if you're able to remain equanimous, reactionless, objective. So this is what we're doing here. Mastering our own mind, training our mind to observe reality as is without reacting, remaining equanimous. Noticing reality as is, noticing those sensations that are real. How often do we have the chance to sit with ourselves? Do we take time for ourselves. And in this case, we make it effective. We focus on a task at hand. We focus on that space beneath our nostrils and above our upper lip. And if our mind wanders, we simply come back to the task at hand without reacting, remaining equanimous. Even if our mind wanders 100 times in 2 minutes, we just keep training our mind to come back, we come back. Eventually, your mind just might start wandering every 2 minutes, 5 minutes. Eventually, you catch yourself present for longer, precious moments at a time. And in Vipassana, they say, when you're able to stay super present, super focused, and equanimous, that's when you're finally able to release those stored emotions. That's when you're finally able to release those things that you've suppressed or held on to. Without even realizing it, you're doing the work subconsciously. So those moments where we're able to be present with ourselves are so important. It's a gift. It says it in the word. Stay with yourself here. Notice those sensations. Stay focused on that space beneath the nostrils and above the upper lip. And let's spend 2 minutes in silence so you really get to practice. Notice if your mind wandered, bring it back. Even if you're feeling sensations elsewhere in the body, acknowledge that it's there, but come back to the space beneath the nostrils and above the upper lip. Stay present to the task at hand and remain equanimous. Notice if you've wandered, come back with a smile. Slowly start taking control of your breath again. So keep your eyes closed for now, but just take a deep, deep inhale through the nose. And let yourself sigh out through the mouth. We're going to do that 2 more times together. Becoming very tall on that inhale and just sighing it out and letting all of any tension or stress left go completely. Deep inhale and just let it all release here. Let it all go. Anything that no longer serves you. Slowly start opening your eyes. Reach those arms up overhead. Inhale, reach, interlace your fingers, reach up here. Try to keep the scapula retracted as much as you can. Keep those ribs stuck in and really reach your arms up towards the ceiling. Bring your palms back to heart center here. Shake it, shake those shoulders out a little bit. Twist towards your right. Try to look over that shoulder, but keep your palms into heart center here. Feel the twist in the torso. Feel the twist in your lumbar, your thoracic, and your cervical spine, all the way up, gaining length. Come back to center here. Twist in the other direction, to your left. Still finding a nice long spine and really twisting all the way, looking over that left shoulder. Coming back to center, grabbing onto those knees, rounding your back a little bit here, coming back up nice and long and tall, rounding that, flexing that spine again, and coming back up nice and tall. Good work. Move those shoulders around a little bit. Ooh, okay. Well, Melissa, I'm happy that you got here in time for the meditation. I'm super happy that you guys showed up today for the stretch, the meditation, or whichever one you were able to show up for. And I hope that you feel better. I hope that you feel that nice stretch in the spine and it feels more you feel like your body's more functional right now, more mobile. And I hope that you feel super relaxed after the meditation like that. And also, that's so funny that you say that, Melissa, because I was actually thinking about that. I was like, hey, the last time that my sister came on and the last time my sister meditated with me was at the yoga and meditation retreat a few years back. Yeah, you were still in Ottawa at that point, not in Vancouver anymore. Yeah, so anyway, super happy you guys came. And always remember that the Anapana technique, that's basically the first part of Vipassana meditation. You can check out Vipassana meditation at www.dhamma.org. Right now, unfortunately, due to the situation, the centers are closed, but there will be, you can stay updated with that. So as a first student for Vipassana, you have to do a 10-day course. It's a 10-day silent retreat. It's very challenging. It's very hard work on yourself, but I think that everyone should at least try it once. Like, it's so, honestly, so mind-blowing. You get to do so much work on yourself. It's amazing. So if definitely look at the website and know that Anapana is that first part where we really focus. So when we're out of Vipassana, we spend the first 4 days focusing on that space that I was just telling you guys about, right? Below the nostrils and above the upper lip. And you spend 4 days meditating almost 12 hours a day, focusing on that space. And I can tell you by the 4th day, you're very much connected with what's happening there. And your mind doesn't wander as much. Your mind still wanders, but it doesn't wander as much. So it's pretty interesting. And after day 4, then you actually start Vipassana. And that's when you start, now that you were able to sharpen your mind and you were able to really focus on that space and you were able to kind of train yourself to remain equanimous and to be very present with reality as is happening here as you're meditating, then you start bringing that attention at the top of the head. And then it becomes a whole, then you start actually, you start focusing from the head all the way down, and you spend, the entire day focusing and dissecting your own body. inch by inch, inch by inch, inch by inch. So I just highly suggest for anyone to check out dhamma.org for Vipassana, and even just to either come and join me again, because I will be doing more Anapana meditations, and you'll be able, this one will be a replay as well. And if you were here today, well, definitely practice that technique, because it's so worth it. So worth it. So I love you guys. Have a wonderful Wednesday. And I'll see you all soon. I hope so. Yay. Peace out.